We just watched Sonic last night, my daughter and I. Actually, my
Yeah.
whole family.
What'd you think?
It was cool, man. The I felt that Sonic, he was portrayed pretty well. Like, I obviously a side-scrolling video game doesn't have much depth, but I think they went about it in an honest way, and Sonic was a very likable character.
Yeah.
And Jim Carrey killed it as usual. It's my fucking idol right there.
Yeah, I think Jim Carrey made the movie, to be honest. I mean, we expected Sonic to be good just because it's about Sonic, so we expected it to be a great character, or at least the character that we wanted it to be on screen. So I think that they accomplished what they wanted to accomplish with that. But the villain is what everybody was expecting, especially when they announced that Jim Carrey was going to be the villain. Everybody expected Jim Carrey to show up and be Jim Carrey, and I think he delivered. Right, like every time it was on screen, you just couldn't help but smile and enjoy the time, enjoy
The
the film.
dude is a maniac, man. Like he's just so spontaneous. I love him.
Right. Yeah, and I think that if I'm not sure if you were aware, but a few months before they released the movie, there have been some complaints about how Sonic was portrayed. Like they changed the way he looks. They made him
Yeah,
look
they
a
didn't
little
care
bit
about
more
character design.
realistic. Yeah, so people got up in arms about that, and they ended up changing it.
Which is good
Um,
as a studio to be able to. You shouldn't have to like switch your shit up because of the fans, but it's nice that they went back to the drawing board and revisualized how Sonic should look.
right, right. Yeah, and I think that they made the right move overall, just because the fans are the ones that are gonna make the movie as far as making the money back and everything else.
Yeah, definitely.
And
And
from a business perspective, it made sense to do that for sure.
what a rough time to release a movie right now. Like
Yeah,
everything is going straight to DVD, not even DVD, straight to video. Straight to streaming.
right. Let's see. I think Chad just texted me. Let me look.
And that was Jeff Fowler's first movie. That was pretty impressive, man.
Yeah, yeah. Chad will be here in 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes, and we'll start talking to him.
You could rub one out in 5 minutes.
Yeah. So overall, I think they did a great job. I mean, the story itself is not, it's not like the greatest story you'll ever hear or see on a screen, but it was entertaining as hell. I don't think I don't think they were going for anything complicated per se, but they went for entertainment. And I think everybody would enjoy it. People that played the game and people that are new to the actual franchise. So I think they delivered it pretty well.
Did you play the game?
I did. I played some of the games when I was a kid. Sonic wasn't my favorite character or favorite game to play, but it was fun still. So from that point, I think they, in my view, did a great job as far as making the movie entertaining,
Yeah, no doubt, man. To me, it was basically like a road trip movie. I mean, they were trying to escape Dr. Robotnik.
Right.
It was kind of like a little bromance thing going on between the
Right.
sheriff and Sonic.
Right. The relationship between them went from chaotic to actually being best friends,
Yeah.
which that's
And
great to
I
see.
mean, we've definitely seen that story before, but
Right. It's nothing new. They didn't invent anything. Yeah.
it's relatable.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And I didn't see it in theaters, but I assumed that a lot of kids would have enjoyed stories like that.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I think it was like, even though like we grew up with a little bit of Sonic in our lives, it was ultimately a kids movie.
Right.
My daughter enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that's the thing. A lot of adults, when they go see movies like that, they expect it to be something different, something that they've never seen before, or they want it a certain way. But studios are not making movies just for you. You know what I mean?
Right,
Especially
right,
when it comes to something big like Sonic or Mario or anything like that. I have to do ever do a movie for Mario, but they're gonna go for the general public or kids that are growing up right now playing that game.
right.
So get with it, and if it's entertaining, just be thankful that they did that instead of botching it like some movies. Max Payne.
For sure, man.
Yeah, Max Payne sucks. Have you seen Max Payne?
No, I didn't. I
Oh
didn't
my
get a chance to
god.
watch that. But I love
Yeah,
the video.
that's terrible.
I like the first video game.
Yeah, the video games are great. The movie, not so much. They botched the hell out of it. So if you really want to see a video game being turned into crap movie style, go watch Max Payne. There are a lot of examples for movies that are trash
That's
compared to the video
a
games.
tough thing because video games are like this whole market in itself. And when you try to turn a video game character into a whole franchise, a movie, it seems like the diehard fans might not all be on board with it.
Right.
And you have some real tough critics out there, people who grew up with these characters and have their idea of what they're supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And to see a few of them, other ones that made movies, Assassin's Creed, they locked in a great actor. They wasted that movie, man. They could have done something way different. They went for generic, and it just didn't turn out very well.
Yeah, I think that's been happening for like a lot of video game movies or even comic book movies. They just the fans are just the toughest critics.
Right.
They're like, that's not how I saw it in my head when I was a kid. You fucked it up.